Good day, Nematekwane, Nda, Absheni, Molweni, Sanbonani. I am Oetukyangi. Welcome to our Life Sciences class. Our lesson today is based on systematics and taxonomy. So you may ask yourself, Uguti, what is systematics? So systematics refers to the study of the diversity of life and the relationship among organisms on Earth. So systematics, it is also known as the arrangement of organisms in an orderly fashion in order to understand evolutionary history on Earth. So a systematics name, in other words, is a branch of biology that focuses on classifying and organizing organisms based on their evolutionary relationships. So you may ask yourself, what is the significance of systematics? Why is it so important? Like, what is the importance of systematics? So we use systematics to determine the history of evolution on Earth. So its primary goal is to understand the diversity of life on Earth and how species are related to each other through the study of their evolutionary history. So systematics is based on fossil records, compared anatomy, development, and molecular data. So you may ask yourself, what are fossil records? Those that don't know fossil records. So fossil records is the remains or imprints of organisms from earlier geological periods that are preserved in sedimentary rocks. So we have something called comparative anatomy. Sorry for the typo. It's called comparative anatomy. So comparative anatomy is a study of similarities in the anatomy of different species. So comparative anatomy is the study of similarities in the anatomy of different species. We have something we call a taxonomy. So what comes to your head when you think about something that is called taxonomy? What comes to your head when you think about the word taxonomy? Are we talking about value-added tax, the tax that the government taxes us each and every day? No, taxonomy refers to the science of identifying, classifying, and naming organisms. So we're saying that taxonomy is the science of what? Of naming, defining, and classifying organisms into hierarchical groups based on shared characteristics. So this classification system is organized into hierarchy ranging from broad categories like kingdoms to specific ones like species. So you may ask yourself, Wuti, what is the significance of taxonomy? Why is taxonomy so important? So we use taxonomy to identify related organisms. We use taxonomy to describe the history of evolution on Earth. We use taxonomy. The importance of taxonomy, it is because we use it to identify the organisms that are related. We use it to describe evolutionary history on Earth. So we know of taxonomy because of a scientist called Aristotle. So Aristotle, he was the first scientist to venture in the study of taxonomy. So we have something we call binomial nomenclature. Binomial what? Binomial nomenclature. Hey, by just saying that those two words, I'm sophisticated. I sound sophisticated. So binomial nomenclature refers to a uniform way of naming species. So they name the organisms according to their particular genus and species. So for example, we have Homo sapiens, we have Homo erectus, we have Canis lupus. So the Canis lupus is the grey wolf, and we have the Felis catus. So the Felis catus refers to a cat. Unomkiti, ukiti, your cat that is at home. So it is a Canis, it is a Felis catus. So we have classifying categories. Basically we have 8 classifying categories, but you've only included 7. So the first one is the domain. It is the domain. So the second one is the kingdom. The third one is phyla, followed by class, followed by order, followed by family, genus, and species. So coming to our definitions, we have things we call a taxon. So a taxon is a name of a group with shared characteristics or traits. We're saying that a taxon is a name of a group with shared characteristics or traits. So classification refers to the naming and defining organisms or a group of organisms to a taxon. We have something we call a phylogeny. So it refers to the history of evolution and the relationship among a group of organisms. So we have something we call a phylogenetic tree. So a phylogenetic tree is a diagram that shows the lines of descent. We're saying that a phylogenetic tree is a diagram that shows or illustrates the lines of descent. They use fossil records to construct these trees. So in the absence of fossil records, they use cladistics. So you may ask yourself, what are cladistics? So cladistics is the study of evolutionary traits derived from common ancestry. So it is what? It is the study of evolutionary traits derived from common ancestry to determine closely related organisms. We have the 3-domain system. The 3-domain system. So you have to first know what is a domain. Hey, I don't know Sesotho, but you have to know what is a domain. So a domain refers to the highest level of classification of categories. So remember we said we have kingdoms, we have phyla, class, order, family, genus, and species. So we're saying that the highest level of classification of categories is the domain. So in domains are categorized based on differences in life forms and genetic makeup. So there are 3 domains, namely the first one is bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. So bacteria and archaea are both prokaryotic microorganisms that lack a true nucleus or membrane-bound organelles. So both archaea and bacteria do not have a nucleus, and they do not have membrane-bound organelles. So the only difference between archaea and bacteria, so archaea can be found in extreme environments. So we have something we call eukarya. So eukarya includes all organisms with eukaryotic cells. So eukaryotic cells have a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles such as Golgi apparatus, the endoplasmic reticulum, and so on. So this domain comprises of plants, animals, fungi, and protists. So coming to our last slide, we have something we call kingdoms. So kingdoms are the second highest classification category. So it categorizes living organisms based on fundamental differences in their characteristics and evolutionary relationships. So there are 5 kingdoms, namely Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, Kingdom Animalia. So Kingdom Monera consists of prokaryotes, that is bacteria and archaea. So remember we said prokaryotes lack a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. We have kingdom Protista. So kingdom Protista consists of unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Unicellular organisms are single-celled organisms. So examples of protist, protozoa and algae. We also have fungi. We have kingdom fungi. So it is comprised of multicellular eukaryotic organisms that obtain nutrients through absorption, such as mushrooms and molds. So we have kingdom Plantae. So kingdom Plantae is comprised of multicellular eukaryotic organisms that are capable of photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? So photosynthesis is the process whereby plants and plant-like organisms are able to manufacture their own food using light, energy, water, and carbon dioxide. So examples are trees, flowers, and grass. So we have something we call the kingdom Animalia. So kingdom Animalia is made up of multicellular eukaryotic organisms that are heterotrophic. So something that is heterotrophic, it means that it cannot be able to manufacture their own food. So we're saying that the kingdom Animalia are made up of multicellular eukaryotic organisms that are heterotrophic and that are capable of locomotion. So something that is capable of locomotion, it means that it can move from point A to point B. So it can fly, it can walk, it can swim, and so on. So examples are mammals, birds, fish, and insects. So we have come to the end of our lesson. Please subscribe and like the video. And please don't forget to message me if you'd like for me to cover a specific topic. You can give me a WhatsApp. I will share my number with you. So have a good day and God bless all of you guys. Thank you.